Hmm. 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 Yeah. Hello. I cannot do an Iskall impression, but hello everyone. It feels wrong. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vault Hunters. I actually managed to find one of the Omega rooms in a Christmas vault and took a bunch of these heads off the Christmas tree. So we now have a couple of the creators, even though that isn't actually Iskall. It looks close enough. But, it is nighttime. You folks may notice that my level is significantly higher than the end of last episode. That's because I have been playing and taking some time to just relax for my holidays and into the new year. Playing with some friends, gathering some XP, doing bits and pieces, and completing scav vaults. What have we got here? Ooh. Damn, that's actually some good stuff. Okay, very nice. I'll just put that stuff away. So, been running some vaults, been losing some stuff, been winning some things, getting new bits and pieces. I got some Omega pants, and just in general, enjoying the pack for the vaults and playing and just chilling out a little bit. Not focusing on the base or anything, just playing with some friends on the Artemis SMP. But now, with the new year in full force, I started making some crystals and realized I need some pumpkins. And I didn't have any pumpkins in my storage, so I thought we'd head over to spawn. But then there's sort of only a handful of pumpkins here as well, which I will grab. So I think in today's episode, a pumpkin farm, maybe even a melon and pumpkin farm, is in order. And it gives us a beautiful opportunity to work with modular routers. So the idea being that I will be able to configure these modular routers to pick up the items and store them. So I don't need a hopper minecart, I don't need pickup systems or anything like that. The modular router should just transfer items into what we want. So I have 4 knowledge points. I also want to buy that. Oh, a couple of things we need to sort out first. Okay, what do we have soul shard wise? 128. Okay, that means that we need what? 208, 200, 180 more. I'm sure we can find something with soul value that will do that. Let's just do this. Because the Vault apples really only have a use for hardy apples. I'm not too worried about those just yet. I do have a couple. And golden apples. I feel comfortable getting rid of a handful of them for the time being. What else could I chuck into that system? I think maybe a couple of these. The chest scrolls are lovely, but I don't think I really want that many wooden ones. So, a handful of those is going to get us a good amount. 1,400 actually. And we'll see whether or not we can get enough of this stuff to get that diamond block. Because it's going to be very helpful in purchasing new upgrades and bits and pieces. We might do a couple of the gilded variety, couple of the living variety as well. Yeah, do. Those should get us more than enough. While that is running, let's roll these 2 bits of gear and see what we get. Omega. Something Omega. Come on. I need a new helmet. This one's nearly dead. Oh, a hippopotamus helmet. Oh, it's terrible. It's really bad. That, on the other hand... Oh my. That's 14 armor. And I think, yeah, if we look at those two, I was just running this because it had a really good armor roll. This has soulbound. Oh my goodness. Nice. With those on, and our chest plate, which is just here, 36 armor. Oh my. 48 defense, 48% defense. Ooh, that is a lovely upgrade. Nice. We will deal with that very shortly. As you can see, I have been rolling a few bits and pieces, nothing crazy, but there is a nice helmet there that I'll probably use once this one runs out, and I do have some nice backups here and there. I also got a rocket launcher from that room that we got the heads in, which, yeah, it does a thing. And it looks ridiculous. Oh boy, I love modded. But let's grab, 4,096. That is a lovely amount. Absolutely enough for what we need and then some. And just check if I have anything else in here. 6 more, not enough. All right, we have 583. That is more than enough. Oh, I can't do it. There's no way. There's just no way. This, though, is lovely. So the last bit on our plan is knowledge stars. And I can actually make another one. That's from running a bunch of vaults. I don't think I have any knowledge essence left, but I do have 88 Benny. And now, thanks to that diamond block, 17 diamonds. So once I get myself a few more knowledge essence, we've got enough for 2 more. Yeah. 7 unspent knowledge points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take drawers. Drawers are going to be my storage for farms. So this melon and pumpkin farm that we're going to try and set up with the modular routers, I want to go into drawers themselves, but for storage, i.e. what we're using here, in a large system that I have access to through the simple storage, I will just use the colossal chests for the time being. So I think that's a nice balance between using colossal chests and using drawers. The drawers will be set up in the farm locations themselves to avoid filling our main storage with those items, because I don't mind going around to a couple of different farm areas that we have built up around here. So with all of that, I'm going to put what soul shards we have left away. 275 is nice. Put away a few things that I don't actually need. In fact, I can actually turn off that pickup upgrade so that I don't keep picking those up. And do I have any melons? I do. Perfect. We can break those down and get ourselves some seeds. Lovely. Now the remaining 6 points, do I take belts? I don't think I'm quite ready to take creates. Kagerium, botany pots. If I grab one of those, it's going to increase the cost by 12. Oh, I don't know. I'm not quite ready to make that decision. I also am getting close to feeling like I want refined storage too, but I feel like I should wait and work with what I've got for the time being. So we're going to keep those knowledge points just sitting there. I think, though, I'll probably end up taking the belts just for looting purposes. I've got this double pouch, which I haven't filled up with my filters yet, but I do feel like the belt will just give me the extra that I need for really collecting a lot of stuff during the vaults, which would be nice. Nice to get a lot of bits and pieces and be able to burn through them. So, with that being said, I'm going to put this pickaxe away. I don't want to waste the durability on that, and I don't have the immortal thing on it, but I do have axing, which is lovely in the vaults. So that's going to temporarily go there, and we need to make ourselves a new silk touch. So I'm going to get myself prepared. Yeah, I don't have anything to do with that. Wait, maybe I should search for pick. Yes, I don't have anything to do with that. So I'm going to prepare myself, get everything ready, and I think we might just build it in an open area over here so we have the room to experiment. I think that'll be the smart way to go. So I might make some drawers, might prepare some bits and pieces, and then we'll see if we can work out modular routers. All right, see you in a sec. And to just make our pickaxe, we're going to sneak into Princess Lissy's little place here and grab a couple of books. I want one efficiency and a silk touch. Thank you, Lissy. All right, I believe I'm ready to start making the farm. So we're going to just build it temporarily. We'll probably move this and make a more permanent solution once I decide how I want to set up my farm areas. I kind of think that maybe these tunnels will have little rooms off the side that hold different sorts of farms, all connected up with modular routers, with the storage sort of sitting at the front in a nice little accessible area. But I'll see how we go. To begin with, we're definitely playing a little bit loosey-goosey. I just have bits and pieces everywhere over there, and a half-completed base, but I like it. A little bit more chaos this season. Just playing for the joy of it, bringing you guys along for some of the experimentation and the fun, and hopefully it's good entertainment. So, the beauty of doing this with modular routers is I don't actually have to create space underneath this farm. Whereas usually I would be making room for the hopper minecarts to go underneath or something along those lines. Because we're going to be using modular routers, I should be able to just place this down and the modular routers will pick up what they need to. So we're just going with a very standard pumpkin and melon farm design, a 9x9 square of dirt with a bit of water in the middle, like so. And then let's just go like this and stagger in a crisscross pattern our farmland. Oops. Come on. Break, 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 break. That's the most stubborn piece of farmland I've ever seen. Break. Is it? Oh, I wonder whether feather falling stops that from happening in this mod pack. Who knows? Either way, that is our farm basically done. So now I need to decide how many of each I want to do, and we need to make sure that it is staggered in a way that we have melons, then pumpkins, and melons and pumpkins, because it does make it grow a lot faster if you stagger the lines. So I think what I'm going to do is the melons on the 5s, like so. And then that means that the melons can also grow on this 4 here. So we have 24 of the melons, and then we should have 16 of the pumpkins. Because the melons are going to be obviously not producing a full melon per output, although there may be a way to do that with modular routers, I'll have to learn. For now, this will be perfectly fine. So those are going to grow. The next thing I can do is actually use the convenience of locking the position of rotation, and I can just go around. Oh, in fact, I need to do that the other way. Let's look up, like so, and I can just put an observer facing the correct way without having to do anything fancy directly on top of all of these. Wonderful. Now, what direction do these face? The correct way already when they are looking down like that. So I can just jump up here. The rotation lock is genuinely so lovely for building things like this. And there we go. Now, all that's left is to, well, I don't necessarily need to because of this. It's all lit up enough, but just to make myself feel comfortable, I'm going to grab a glowstone block and just put the light in that I need in the middle. Okay, that feels correct. A little bit of redstone, and they just need to be on top of the observers, and the farm is built. Cool. Now, they're going to go off a few times before it actually starts producing any items, but that's going to give us some time to learn how to use modular routers. Now, I think I have a fair idea already of some of the basics, so we're going to see what we can do. First things first, let's sleep. And let's make ourselves, we probably want to do drawers. We're going to make some basic drawers. They're actually a really decent price in this setup now. To make the drawers themselves is just chromatic iron ingots and a bit of driftwood, which I have been building up a pretty decent supply of. What's that, 1,400? Nice. Now, we could go about setting ourselves up with some upgrades as far as the amount of storage, which is also really, really lovely priced. I like that. Compacting drawers and drawer controllers are still expensive, of course. That requires a lot. So the big items to do with this are quite expensive. Compacting drawers, not so bad. We might do that for the melons, but not at this point. I will save those resources. So we might also just want to craft a couple of keys so that we can see what it looks like. Ooh, that is expensive. And we probably want 3 of them. Okay, that's where the cost goes. Do that. We'll make another one of those, or 2 or 3. We'll grab that, and that. Make a quantify and a concealment. Nice. We'll grab that. Okay, so we have all the keys that we need now. They will be permanently ours, so I don't have to worry about crafting those anymore. I need 1 more spruce drawer. Okay, beautiful. So let's start working. I'm going to put that there and that there. I don't have a single actual pumpkin to use. What about melon? I could probably make a melon. No, I just need the melon slice, so that's all right. Pumpkin. Ooh, the timing on that was incredible. Thank you. So a pumpkin can go in there and a melon can go in there. We will lock the drawers so that they stay what they are. And I'm going to not use a concealment, but we'll do that. Perfect. Next thing is to put down a modular router. And this should be able to just work with a few different bits and pieces, like these things, to place items into there. Now, we may need 2. I'm not sure. Let's find out. I know some of you have probably worked with modular routers before, but for those like me who never have, we can kind of learn about this together, and maybe you can copy some of what I'm doing for some farms of your own. So, I think what I need to do is make a vacuum. There we go. Oh, that's expensive, but it is what it is. I think I can make it. What else did I need? Chromatic steel block? Oof. Maybe I can't. Maybe we need to run a vault. The sender modules and stuff are not too bad. Pull a module. What does that do? Let's have a look at our book. Let's see what we actually need. Oops, I didn't mean to open that. So, with the modules, okay, the puller pulls from an inventory. What we need is the vacuum. It will scan for items dropped in a 13 by 13 cubic area around the router, up to 6 blocks in each direction, and absorb them into the router's buffer. The range can be increased with a range up augment. So that's fine. From there, with that, I think that I will be able to basically suck up anything and then use sender modules, which are decently cheap. And the sender modules will try and send an item from the router's buffer to an inventory. It can be up to 8 blocks away, and you can range that up, of course, and it must be along the X, Y, or Z axis. So, it must have a clear line of sight to the target, no opaque blocks, but blocks such as glass, fences, iron bars are okay. Good to know. So I think that should be alright. This top end, oh, the level 3 can send it to any inventory in any dimension with no restrictions. I don't know whether that's possible. Must be chunk loaded. Let's have a look. It is. It's just expensive. The Sender Mark II can go up to 48 blocks, and clear line of sight is not required. Interesting. That's pretty cool. So we've got a lot of different options to work with, and the Sender Mark II's not too bad. This is probably what we'll end up using for our farms when it comes to making them permanently, so that it can send through blocks and through walls, and they could be hidden farms with just a drawer showing for the output. But it does seem like this vacuum module is what we have to go for. So the vacuum module needs some of these, which is fine. I can handle that one. So I'll make a few of those. But it is the it is the chromatic steel. Hold the phone. Hold on. Let's have a look-see. Make one of these blocks. And I have 3 left over. Hey, we did it. Oh, nice. Very nice. I don't have to run a vault and risk things to try and get myself what I need. Beautiful. So, okay. Looks like we've already got something growing. This is a perfect opportunity. Let's chuck a vacuum module into there, and it's grabbed it. Amazing. Now, there's probably like upgrades for the amount of storage that we can have, But what we're going to do now is grab some sender modules. Ooh, I actually managed to do it. Now that POG that I used actually came out of a mystery box. Do you want to know something absolutely ridiculous though? I need to show you guys this. If we head over to the spawnies, the wonderful, and I have to say wonderful to not get salty, the wonderful Elainetti on a stream managed to get an Omega Pog from a mystery box. And she didn't even know what it was. Oh dear. The luck that some of the people on this server have is ridiculous. Oh, so pretty. With that being said, I was pretty happy to pull a Pog out of mine. And it paid for that vacuum module. So I still call that a win. So we have 2 extra blank modules of those that I made for the vacuum. So I can make 2 of those. And let's see if we can get this to work. I believe if I hold this in my hand and right click, yes, I should be able to put the item in there that I want to remove or send as the filter. I believe this is the filter section. You can increase that with these larger filters, bulk item filters there, but let's just go like this, put that item in there. And how does this work? Let me have a quick read. Modular router has a buffer. Okay, number 1 is the buffer. Modular router has a slot, a 1-slot buffer, able to hold up to a stack of items. This is exposed as a normal inventory, so it can be interacted with via hoppers. Nice. In addition, a comparator placed against the router will measure the slot's fullness. Cool. The modular routers have slots for 9 modules. Each time a router runs between 1 and 10 times per second, depending on the speed upgrades, it will execute each module in turn from left to right. Cool. They can be configured without removing them from the router by pressing C while hovering. Good to know. The upgrade slots can be used for speed upgrades and stack upgrades. Makes sense. Redstone controls, which we shouldn't have to worry about, and eco mode. Environment friendly has an option to automatically slow down if it's been idle for a while. Oh, cool. Most modules operate in a defined direction relative to the router's facing. Direction, front, back. There's a way to do this, I'm sure. Huh. I was fiddling around with it, and it's working. I don't know what I did to make it work. Originally, I had the one that was meant to be sending to this, but it wasn't. I don't know why, but as soon as I added a second module to send to this one, it started working. Oh, flags damage. Maybe I've accidentally done something here. Ignore item damage? Maybe that was part of the problem? I'm not sure. But I ended up making the Mark II variety of the sender modules because they can send a great distance and I don't have to necessarily worry about that. So you can see what happens here is when something gets destroyed, which nothing did just then because they're still growing, of course, the modular router up top, let's actually just make a little staircase so I don't have to dash every time, will pick it up into its buffer and then instantaneously it will direct it across to the correct one because I have 2 sender modules that will both work that way. Now, I don't know whether I needed 2 sender modules or whether I could whitelist both and have it connected to both, but I think it can only connect to one. If this was just a normal chest, I could use one and it would send it to that, but because I wanted to have them separated, I'm actually going to put everything in there. Because I wanted to have them separated into an individual drawer, that meant that I needed 2 sender modules. So I made 2 of these, which weren't too expensive in all honesty, which is pretty nice. Now, if I wanted to, I could add a range upgrade to the vacuum module itself, but I don't have the stuff to make these augment cores that are required for those. So we do need to upgrade ourselves a little bit more as far as resources go to be able to do stuff like that. So that's why I sat it in the middle of this, because it can pick up within 6 blocks of itself in any direction, but it can send up to 24 blocks. So what I might quickly do is actually just grab these. Oh, I think the router just picked that up. It did. That's fine. And then if I put them down here, I think that should be close enough. Actually, let's put them on the side that I had them originally, like this and like that. And now I may need to relink these modules. So let's do that quickly. Yes, you can see where they were previously linked to. So Target has been cleared. This is my melon slice one. I need to shift and click. Has been set. Then, if I put it in there, it should work. I'll do the same thing with this one. Put that in there. And look at that. It's sending the items. It'll now start picking up those, sending them across. And because they're Mark II, they will work through anything. They will send that through walls. Oh, that's so exciting. That's so cool. Now, this is just some of the more basic setups. You can have, for example, I could put a chest on top of here and just have one of these sender modules, and it would only have to be a level 1, and it would send it straight up into the setup here if I did... of course, because they're level 2, they don't have the direction. But if it was a level 1, I could just send it up, and whatever storage I had above there, it would send it to. But I really like this. I wanted to get straight into the wireless and send it over like this. I think that's really, really cool. So, once that gets up to the level that we want it to, we're good to go. Perfect. Very nice. If I do this, we now have a very simple setup that sends the items across. Ah, that's so much fun. So much fun. Yeah. So, this is nearly at the amount that we need. I think it was 74. So a couple more, and this has already achieved its main purpose, which was to get me what I needed for this crystal. But I've started to get my head around the modular routers, which is really nice. Now, I realized that I didn't really show off the reason why I didn't use the Mark 1s earlier of the sender modules, and I don't actually have the resources to craft one. But essentially, what the Mark 1 will do is allow you to transfer into a block directly touching one of these faces. So forward, back, and obviously underneath and all of that jazz. So it allows you to send directly into a storage touching the modular router, which is what I mentioned when I was talking about, oh, that was a weird dash, when I was talking about putting something on top of there. So that is a way that you can do it that is a little bit cheaper than crafting these versions that I have send over this way. But not only that, it allows you to actually make one of these into a sorter or a filter where I could have one on that side and one on that side, for example, these two, and have two sender modules in there. One that sends it to this side if it is a melon, for example, and one that sends it this side if it is a pumpkin. So I could have had that set up right up against here or up on top so that the main cost was just the vacuum module. And then we could have used the Mark 1 to possibly even do something like this. Just lift it up ever so slightly, that'd still pick it up, and we could have our storage on top. But I wanted to get pretty much straight into the more fun stuff, which is that. That's so cool that we can send it like that. I've actually got enough of this to get going, so I can bring those across here, like so, and get myself a level 24 crystal. Yeah. Also, Princess Lizzie has made a wither skeleton farm on the server, so I got a little gift, which is quite nice of her. With all that being said, I spent a lot of this episode just trying to get my head around this, but hopefully you enjoyed watching me struggle through it, or more to the point, hopefully it did help one or two people just wondering what modular routers does. Now, there's a lot more that modular routers can do, and yeah, we're probably going to explore that over the course of this series, but for now, just some basic stuff like that is really, really handy. It can do stuff with liquids, it can pick up all sorts of things and move all sorts of things, and yeah, it's pretty great. I think I will run some vaults in the next episode and see if we can get ourselves to level 25 and likely beyond, because I want to take, I think, speed 2. Wait, no, that's right. Haste 2. At level 25, we get haste 2, and I feel like that's going to be incredibly important and incredibly useful inside the vaults, breaking things like the spawners and all sorts of bits and pieces, as well as it's going to give me a permanent beacon effect to dig out all of these things and work on the base. I don't have to set up a beacon next to it each time I want to do the work. So that's probably the goal. I hope you all enjoyed this little episode, fiddling around with some modular routers, purchasing drawers and such, and yeah, I think I'm going to take belts. Yeah. it's done. So the belts, if we have a look over here, do require a pog, but I actually have enough to do quite a few of those. So it's just making another double pouch, and I should be good. In fact, let's just make sure that is saved like that. I'm going to take these out. A little note, I think it is currently a known issue. If you are upgrading your pouches, make sure you take out the upgrades because they will disappear, which is no good. So let's do a quick thing. Let's see what we can do. We'll make, we need some rabbit hide. If you've hung around long enough in the episode, you get to see this last little bit. Let's do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Make a double pouch, which just requires a extraordinary Larimer, like so. Yes. And then we will take this off. Let me just double check that that is empty. Yes. Okay. And we need to make a pog, which I can. Oh, hold on. It doesn't recognize them in there. Go like that and like that. Yeah. A loot belt. Now if I put that on. Ooh, look at that storage. It actually kept the thing that I had in there too. So that means that I'm going to be able to not only pick up a lot of the loot and a few of the extra ones that I haven't set up the filters for yet, but I'm also going to be able to have like room for junk to go in. I might make a tier 1 upgrade because if you combine 2 of the upgrades, this one at ×4 and this one at ×2, it actually creates ×8, which allows me to stack 512 items per slot. And that will mean that we can basically run through a vault without worrying about filling our inventory. Look at the belt on me. Wait. And yeah, oh, it does clash a little bit with the quiver, but that's pretty cool. That's a lot of storage space. I'm very happy with that. And it does allow us a few extra upgrades that I'm not going to get into now because we are done. I've been rambling, I'm sorry. I've probably added an unnecessary couple of minutes to this episode. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my patrons for your continued support, and welcome to the new year, everyone. I hope you're looking forward to a lot of fun, more episodes coming up soon and throughout this year, and I hope you take care of yourselves. So, until the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye-bye, everyone. Whoop!